Hi, I am Dr. Falgun Vyas and I am going to tell you about the treatment of ulcerative colitis. So, ulcerative colitis is the chronic inflammatory bowel disease IBD. The other one is the Crohn's disease. Difference between the two is ulcerative colitis start from the distal end of the rectum and spreads proximally, mostly limited to the colon. As the name implies, it's a colitis, inflammation of colon, whereas Crohn's disease can occur any part of the gastrointestinal tract. Inflammation in ulcerative colitis is mostly limited to the superficial layers, mucosal layers, whereas in case of Crohn's disease, it is transmural depth of the inflammation that is involved. In case of ulcerative colitis, it starts from the rectum almost always and spreads proximally in a continuous manner, whereas Crohn's disease is patchy discontinuous areas of inflammation that mostly involve ileum or any part of the gastrointestinal tract. Patient usually presents with increased frequency of stools, blood in stools, abdominal cramps, pain, and weight loss. Diagnosis is mainly based on the symptomatology of the patient as well as endoscopy and biopsy. So, on endoscopy, erythema, friability of the mucosa, ulcerations in colon seen. On biopsy, crypt distortion and crypt abscess is usually suggestive of the ulcerative colitis. In 10% of the cases, there is problem in differentiating Crohn's from ulcerative colitis, especially when Crohn's occurs in areas of the colon. So, infectious colitis and malignancy is required to be ruled out for the diagnosis of ulcerative colitis, and these are the lifelong conditions. So, patient present with frequent relapsing, alternating with the periods of remission. So, treatment of ulcerative colitis is mainly based on the severity of the disease, whether mild disease or moderate to severe disease. The definition of mild and moderate to severe is based on clinical criteria, Mayo scoring, and ulcerative colitis disease activity index. Mayo score is most frequently used in clinical trial setting. I am putting a link of the Mayo score in the description box below. It's a 4-point inquiry, like starting from the frequency of stools, rectal bleeding, endoscopic findings, and physician's global assessment. So 3 to 5 score is mild disease, 6 to 10 is moderate, and 11 to 12 is severe disease. Based on clinical scoring of severity, mild condition is where the frequency of stool is less than or 5 stools per day and is not impacting patient's quality of life, whereas moderate to severe cases are 6 to 10 frequency of stools and significantly affecting patient's quality of life. So from treatment perspective, mild cases are put in one and moderate to severe cases are put in one. And there are two kinds of treatment. One is induction of remission and second is maintenance of remission. But after the advent of the biologics, the line between the induction of remission and maintenance of remission treatments are almost blurred. So now, apart from steroids, the treatments that are used for induction of remission are continued for the maintenance of remission also. So treatment of mild cases of the ulcerative colitis mainly involve two drugs. First is the 5-amino salicylates, that's mesalamine preparations, and second one is the steroid. So mesalamine is used for both induction as well as the maintenance of remission, whereas steroid is only used for the induction of remission of the mild cases. Unconjugated mesalamine, if given orally, is unable to reach colon because 80% of the mesalamine is get absorbed from the jejunum. So we require to give different formulations of the mesalamine. Like first one was the sulfasalazine. Sulfasalazine, when reaches colon, uh, azobond get digested by the colonic bacteria to release sulfapyridine and 5-ASA, that's a mesalamine. But sulfapyridine is responsible for majority of the side effects of this formulation because of the sulfa drugs involvement. So it causes hematologic side effect, it's called GI side effect, idiosyncratic allergic reactions can be caused by this component. So the later uh, multimatrix formulations and pH and site release formulations have been developed, which are pentacyanasacol, as well as olsalazine and balsalazide are developed. which are the differentiated formulations of mesalamine, in which two molecules of the 5-ASA join together with the azo bond, and this azo bond is cleaved by the intestine colonic bacteria. So the mechanism of action of working of this mesalamine is mainly it acts locally. It reduces the cytokine production as well as the prostaglandin and leukotrienes production. It reduces the inflammatory molecules by suppressing the inflammation, and it has some scavenging effect on antioxidant also. So this is the mainly mechanism of action of mesalamine. Mesalamine is available orally as well as topically. So topical formulation or locally acting formulation includes suppository formulation, foam formulations, and enema formulations. So in which conditions the different formulations are used is important. So when proctitis is only there, the inflammation of rectum last part is only there, when suppository is used, suppository can reach up to 15 centimeter from the anal verge. When sigmoid colon is involved, foam preparations are used, and when the inflammation is extended up to the splenic flexure of colon, that is left side of the colon is involved, in those conditions mesalamine enemas are useful. If inflammation is spreading beyond splenic flexure, then locally acting formulations are not able to reach, so oral formulations of mesalamines are required to be used if inflammation is beyond the splenic flexure of the colon. Now we have seen what preparations to use. Now the next step is the stepwise approach in treatment of the ulcerative colitis. So first start usually with topical 5-ASA preparation, that is topical mesalamine, either suppository, foam or enema. If patient is not preferring to use the enema preparations daily, then switch to oral preparations. If patient is not able to not able to achieve remission with topical mesalamine, then add on oral mesalamine formulation. If patient still not able to achieve remission, then add on topical steroid formulation. Still patient is not able to achieve remission, next step is add oral budesonide. Next step is add on oral prednisolone, and even if patient is not able to achieve remission, then add TNF alpha inhibitors. This budesonide is a steroid, is a very typical formulation. Oral budesonide MMX formulation, 90% of which gets metabolized in liver via first pass metabolism, so only 10% reaches the systemic circulation, which is the preferred steroid formulation. Prednisone has a widespread anti-inflammatory effect as well as the widespread systemic side effects also. So the steroid preparations are not used for more than 2 to 3 months in case of ulcerative colitis, and patient has to be maintained in remission with help of the mesalamine formulation. Choice of formulation, as I have told you, based on the location of the inflammatory lesion. For moderate to severe cases, the treatment is totally different, where in moderate to severe cases, mesalamine is not the preferred formulations. Their biologics or oral JAK inhibitors are preferred, and steroids. But steroids are used only for induction of remission, and for maintenance of remission, biologic agents or oral JAK inhibitors are used. So for biologic agents, I have prepared a separate video. You can see the next video if you want to see how biologic preparations are used for treatment of moderate to severe ulcerative colitis.